Hey guys, this is Eric from ET Figure Unboxing, and in this video, we're going to take a look at a super action statue, Caesar Antonio Zeppelin II from JoJo's Bizarre Season 2. So for those of you who are not familiar with the series, he is like the arch rival of the main character, which is JoJo or Joseph Joestar right here. Um, yeah, he's like basically the Vegeta of Dragon Ball or Sasuke of Naruto. But yeah, I wanted this figure for a very long time, but the original color costs a lot of money. It costs around like $100 without shipping or something. So this is a very good alternative. At first I thought the colors doesn't look too nice, but turns out it looks okay. And here's the left side of the box, and the right side of the box is exactly the same if I recall. Yeah, that looks pretty much the same. Here's the back of the box. He came with a lot of stuff with his like ultimate and stuff, and we're gonna check it out like right now. Alright, so here we have the figure still in the packaging, and these bubble effect parts looks really good, and so is these stuff that he shoots out with this move. They look fantastic. And two pairs of hands, one right hand pointing finger, and the necklace that they're trying to protect. I'm not gonna spoil too much about that, and one extra head. I hope we can come with another head though, but that's okay. Like this is not a particularly expensive figure, and he also came with of course, the instruction paper and some stands and a bubble that talks about his move. And this one only includes in the special color edition though, which this one is the special color edition. All right, let's jump straight into the figure and see what we have. All right, so here we have the figure itself, and based on the figures I have, I can tell you guys this confidently that this is probably the best JoJo's Bizarre figure I've ever seen. I could be wrong because I don't have every single one of them, but this is instantly one of my favorite, and I literally just took him out of the box. At first I didn't want to get this guy because he's obviously like the alternative color version, but the color turns out to be really good, and arguably this is very objective, but it can be better than the original. But I still want the original, and I will be looking for him if he gets like a very decent price. But let's take a closer look at the figure. Like the purple, blue, and the pink, everything just works out very well. And the paint job and the sculpt, everything is very nice. I particularly like the way they design the joints, but I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that when we talk about articulation. But for now, let's just enjoy the paint work and the paint job or whatever you call it. And there is some of the paint bleeding like over here, like for instance, but that's not a really big issue. Like you can't really tell from afar. And yeah, this holding looks very good. All right, let's just jump straight into the articulation and see what. All right, so for the articulation, we're gonna go from the neck down. The whole neck is on a ball joint and it moves around that much. And here's like a hinge. I still don't like how this looks, but I guess we can't help it. Every JoJo figure looks like that. And for the arms, this piece is not particularly soft, so you might have some issues on moving like that, but he still goes a pretty decent 360. And there's like a ball joint over there, and there's like a hinge. You can do this, so that gives it a little bit more range. And there is bicep swivel, and this is like very good because some of the other figures doesn't have bicep swivel. And this thing is on a double joint, and kind of like a double ball. You can turn around like that, like so. So he has like a lot of articulation for his hand. And this thing is also on a the ball hinge. You can see that. And this thing, when you try to pull, you got to be really careful with this bracelets falling out. And this is how they done the leg. This thing obviously rotates, so that you have like a swivel over there, and this is like on a ball, and it goes that much and that too. So that looks really good, and that's it for the articulation. And I just want to take a really quick moment to compare it with the deal I have over here. So what I didn't like about the deal is this stupid like this thing where they pull this, and then this is very limited. I really don't like how they design the shoulders over here, but unfortunately they did that a lot. I'm not sure if this Caesar figure is the newer version of the mold, but even for the leg part, like this is all the articulation it gets, and this thing goes in a way. So I'm not sure why they did this, and they do the ball joints for the Caesar, and I'm not too sure about the release dates. But hopefully they can do like an improved version of Dio, like with this kind of articulation. Anyways, let's take a look at some of the accessories he came. All right, so for the accessories, he came with these karate chopping hands, and of course they're very, very well painted, and everything looks nice. He can do this "come at me, bro," or he can try to cast his ultimate, which we're gonna see in a moment, and that looks really good. Or these can be karate chopping hands as well, or salute. All right, so next up we have these display open hands, and these are like slightly bent, so he can do some of the cool styling poses, or he can be charging like that with a lot of energy or aura. And this is the alternative teeth grinding face, and I wish they came with a shouting face, but unfortunately this is the only face it came with, and I would prefer a little bit more battle damage or whatever, but I'm asking too much. And he also came with the right hand where he's just pointing, and I think pointing is really, really common in JoJo Bizarre. They like to point at people a lot, so this is almost like a default hand for everyone. Some of them came with both hands, but he only came with the right hand. That's really cool. Alright, so the figure also came with these effect parts, and I gotta say they look absolutely amazing, and probably one of the best, if not the best, effect parts I've seen on a toy. Like they got the color right, and the translucent plastic just gives a really, really nice touch. And the whole thing is like a really solid plastic, and it's kind of nice. It's not soft. It's pretty, but it's pretty good. And what he does is like he will pull out this string of like water slash bubble, and start shooting out bubbles at you. And they do also include the bubbles over here, and we're gonna take a look at them. And they're very, very tiny. I'm just gonna show you guys over here. So he'll shoot out these small bubbles, and it will cut you, obviously. But I'm not too sure I'm happy with just two, because in a show he does have like a millions of them surrounding him. But that will be very cool if he will just hold one like right here or something. That will be a really nice touch. And anyways, let's see what he looks like with the effect part. Alright, so here we assemble the ultimate move, the bubble move, and this is what he does in the show, and he will start shooting out these bubbles right here. And that looks really, really good. But it's kind of heavy though, so I don't recommend using it too much. Well, it's not so heavy to the point that will hurt your joints, but I will still be kind of careful. And maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's not that heavy, but I don't want to strain the joints at any way. And here is the last accessories, and which is the pendant. I don't want to say too much about the pendant. You just have to know this is a really powerful piece of jam. And I'm not gonna spoil you, so that's it for the accessories. And let's get into some size comparison. So now for the size comparison, we're gonna start off with the main character JoJo, and obviously their arch rival. And this one is the blue color version, which is not the original. These two are both not the original color version, but I don't know. I'm not too sure if they go too well. But they still look pretty good, and as you can see, JoJo is slightly taller, and I think that's accurate. And next up, we're gonna compare with the final boss of the series. And the final boss, Cars, is really, really tall. Cars doesn't stand too well, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And we have Dio from, he's like obviously the final boss for a lot of the season. And I just hope I don't know. I think Dio's technology is not as good as the Caesar. And do let me know in the comments if you know when these are made, because I haven't done too much research on this. I apologize for that, but I feel like Dio could have been a little bit bulkier, just because this guy's a little bit bulky, and he can obviously be a little bit taller. Because arguably Dio, it's maybe taller than he's supposed to be taller than Caesar, I think. So I'm not too sure if these are just like the older figures, or they decided to shrink their technology or whatever. I don't know. Like, I just want to know which one's newer and which one is older. And next up we have let me see, we have Gong over here from the 100x Thunder series, and if we have Gong, we also have Kirua. So it's best for me to just show them in a pair right here, and this is what he will look like next to both of them. And we have, let me see what we have here. We have the premium edition colored trunks over here. That's what he'll look like next to it. And now here we have the Figma Kirito from the Sword Art Online series. Oh my god, I'm about to drop it. And this is what he'll look like. And that's it for some of the comparisons I have. No, that's not it. I have a lot more. Here is the Beerus. And we just reviewed him not too long ago. Very good figure as expected from the Dragon Ball line. At this point, like Dragon Ball line is not gonna surprise me too much if they, keep doing the same characters over and over again. And here is Minato. And I think that's why they try to change it up by releasing Beerus and Whis. But it's not really too exciting for me. That's just me though. But I'm going all in for Dragon Ball, so I'm not gonna complain. And here's Renma. And that's it for some of the size comparison. And I'm going to show you guys what it looks like next to some of the figures I have over here. And there I have the SH Figure Arts Kakashi, and I have, oh my god, I have a Vegeta lying over there. I don't know why. And he's as tall as Kakashi, if not tall. No, Kakashi's still taller with the hair. And I have him with a very cool cape. I will try to talk about a cape a little bit later. And this is what he'll look like next to Hulk, Spider-Man, and all that good jazz. And let's take a look at some of the figures I have behind the backdrop, obviously. And just bear with me. I have to remove this. And I have a pillow over here, so to string. So here we have some of the other figures I have. And for the more familiar ones, I'm gonna just compare him with Captain America over here, and also the Thor. And my lighting effect is falling off. I should be fixing that pretty soon. And he's as tall as Captain America and Thor. And they are a little bit skinnier though. But in the show, Super Action, if this were to accurately scale the other figures, they will probably be a little bit taller because all the Super Action statue figures are supposed to be very tall. Like they're almost like 200 centimeters. I forgot what's that in foot. Probably like 7 foot or something. And here's some of the Kamen Riders I have over here. And that looks fantastic. And, they're slightly taller. So at this point, you can probably tell how tall they are. He is probably as tall as Kylo Ren. That is. And lastly, what else do I want to compare? I have to compare with something else. I'll just compare it with Vegeta over here. Sorry, I gotta kind of wiggle around to get my Vegeta, because I don't know, Vegeta doesn't stand too well. Mine doesn't stand too well. And here's him next to Vegeta, so you can kind of get the idea how they scale with SH Figure Arts. And that's it for the size comparison, and let's see what we have. Alright, so for the final thoughts, I highly recommend the figure, especially for those of you who are thinking about getting into Super Action statues. This one is a really good one to start with, because as I mentioned, I like the joints design a lot better than some of the other figures they make. And now is a really good time to get this figure. He's obviously very cheap, and he's not the original color edition, but if you don't know anything about the series, this one might just work for you. And even though this is not original color, I'm still very happy with it. And I'm not too sure if I'm getting the original color anymore, because this one just looks, I don't know, I don't want to say better because it's really objective, right? And he is $50 with shipping right now, which is nothing for some of the other stuff we're paying for. And I think $50 or $45 is very standard for the import figures nowadays. And they do come with a lot of stuff, interchangeable face, so you can feel like you're getting like 3 figures in one box. So yeah, I highly recommend the figure, and I urge you to try it. And I'm obviously not getting paid for this, but I just really like the figure a lot. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And that's it from me. My name is Eric. I'll see you guys in the next video.